It's Ruth Lednicer. I'm the Senior Director for Marketing and Programs for the Michigan Theater. Just under a year. We signed up last spring. First used you for our Cinetopia Film Festival, and then both our theaters went online in September of this year. I was at Art House Convergence last year. I talked to a couple of different vendors, but I know Agile came really well recommended, but also one of the biggest things for us was that you guys worked with Donor Perfect, which all of our membership accounts were already in Donor Perfect. So, for me, because I'm a data geek, I love that every morning I can look and see who came, not just how many tickets we sold, but I could see how many students came, how many seniors came, how many members came. So the more I extrapolate that kind of information, the more it informs our programming and who we know is actually coming to our theater. I'm also somewhat addicted to seeing advanced sales. I was just telling the story outside that we decided to do a screening of Labyrinth. We put it up the day after David Bowie died in honor of him. Because we now have the ability to sell advanced sales, we were able to capture the emotional component of people wanting to buy tickets right away. We only promoted it through social media, so it was a great way for people to see it and be able to say, yeah, I want to go and buy tickets. Not only did we already sold 500 tickets, because our schedule only allowed us to do the screening tomorrow, which was a week and a half after he died. Not only were we able to capture the emotional component of people being able to buy tickets as soon as they saw him wanting to do something, we were able to get the data back to know that we need to move it to a larger theater because we thought, maybe 150, 200 people will come. 500 means it needs to go into a large auditorium. So, several years, because I know that was one of the big criteria when looking for a ticketing system, that it had to be something that worked with Donor Perfect, because we didn't want to. We had so many files, we have thousands of members that to start over, and even that was a bit of a hiccup because I know the way that Donor Perfect and Agile interact with each other isn't perfect, but at least they do interact with each other. I mean, for us, yeah, because we don't have to enter everything in twice. The fact is you put it in once and it populates both places. And the fact we didn't have to take everything that we had in Donor Perfect and re-enter it into an entirely new system. I would. I mean, I think the fact that it's a small enough organization and a small enough company that they're willing to adapt and tweak things and work with us to come up with new solutions makes it really a great organization to work with. The fact that you're used to working with small independent art house cinemas is great in film festivals. So for the most part, we've not been able to stump you, other than maybe some internet connectivity issues we have with our point of sale system, things like that. But most of the time you guys actually had already done something before we even knew it was something we needed to do. Somewhere between probably 7 and 8, probably an 8. I mean, is it perfect? No. But I think it's hard to find, unless you're having a system built specifically for your organization, it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be things that don't quite fit, things you learn about afterwards. That was kind of part of ours, is figuring out afterwards, like, oh wait, that doesn't work the way we thought it would, but we might not have known even to ask beforehand. So it's rated pretty high.